everything is perfect. It is. Okay. There we go. All right. And going live. Let me share the live. I'll play some music while we're starting and sharing the live. So, one, it's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 Central Time. Follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, and my main Instagram and YouTube, which is tharealjanell, and you can also visit my .com. So if you, like I said, you just now tuning in, I got Dr. Pepper Hernandez, I'm sorry, y'all. Hernandez coming to the couch today. I'm going to go ahead and get this song started. One, because I appreciate y'all for coming in. Yes. Oh, wait, let me turn it up just a teeny bopper.
I appreciate the money because I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the hood because it taught me how to hustle. Went through some hard times when I was down on my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you. I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tan in their white. A nigga play with me, he don't appreciate his life. Don't appreciate his work. And I appreciate the things that even do because it shaped me to be who I am. And I promise that's the truth. And I'm a business, I'll be counting my days, cutting off a couple niggas and continue to make my moves. Yeah. I got shit that I gotta do. Play with me, then you are a fool. Keep playing with me, you wanna be late. You see, I'm trying to be nice, but you keep pressing my case and my baby. Something ain't right with this picture I see. So I cut you out to keep my energy. You say you love me, then why is that cool? Don't need you in my life, just wait and you'll see. I appreciate the money cause I grew up in the struggle. Appreciate the hood cause it taught me how to hustle. Went through some hard times when I was down on my knuckles. I appreciate the ones who stuck around, just know I love you. I appreciate the long days in the trap. Appreciate the road every time I made it back. I appreciate the hard tan in their white. A nigga play with me, he don't appreciate his life. Don't appreciate his life. Come to me, you better come with some respect. In my feelings, I'm just telling you what's best. Keep it real, you got animosity. I'm not tripping, but you gon' respect me. I'm not stressing what you talking about. And if my hitters come through to make you walk it out.
Let me make sure everything is turned up. Yes, it is. How you? Ooh, girl, you look amazing.
Hi.
Hi, you look amazing.
Oh, I was just about to say the same about you, beautiful woman.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm already ready for you. I just had to, get a little bit of music started, get some people all up in here, share the page. Y'all already know what time it is. It's the Couch Chronicles, and there ain't no fucking limits. I got Dr. Pepper Hernandez on the couch, and I'm super excited. I can't wait to ask these questions. I can't wait to get to know you a little bit better. I can't wait for my viewers to get to know you as well. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you share the live. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button. If you're watching on Instagram, make sure that you share the live as well. Follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok. Also, my main YouTube and Instagram, which is Couch Chronicles. Which is tharealjanell. That's on YouTube and Instagram, and that's also my .com and couchchronicles.nolimits on Instagram if you want to see the visual right now. How you doing, Dr. Pepper?
Oh, my sweet friend, I am doing so well.
Good.
Yeah, it's ebb and flow always, right? But I am doing so well.
Absolutely. Now, one, can you tell everybody where you're from?
Yeah, I was born and raised here in Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's dope. What part?
Western Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's it like where you're from?
Well, it's very rural.
Uh-huh.
It's small towns all over the place. We're about an hour west of Oklahoma City
Uh-huh.
and about 2 hours east of Amarillo, Texas.
Okay.
So we're out here,
Okay.
you know. But I love small communities. I love small towns. I wouldn't have it any other way. I've
Right.
lived in big cities and big towns. I've lived away from Western Oklahoma for the last 20 years.
Mm.
And then due to COVID, kind of shifted my private practice back here.
Right.
Half the year anyways.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I love Oklahoma. It's such a diverse and amazing community.
Right.
I'm blessed for sure.
Exactly. Can you explain to everyone what quantum alignment therapy is?
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, quantum alignment therapy is aligning your mission, basically, as a human.
Mm-hmm.
And without getting too esoteric,
Right.
it's really about living your very best life and being quantumly aligned to the best you.
Right.
And how do you do that? And how do you do that mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can go to, naturopaths, which would be great, and you can get natural remedies.
Right.
You can go to an allopath and you can get pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a therapist and get talk therapy. You can go to a spiritual leader and get spiritual therapy. But the way of a holistic wellness
Mm-hmm.
is mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the components.
Right.
So that's what quantum alignment is taking the time to really connect with all of those pieces.
Right.
And find out why this human body is creating a dis-ease or discomfort, and what is that associated to? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is that really about? Because I believe that our bodies work with us
Mm-hmm.
as long
Right.
as we pay attention.
Right. Right. Now, what's the easiest ways for someone who probably has never paid attention to their body start paying attention to their body? What's some easy ways for them to?
Yeah, I think just the very first way would be finding out what ailments that you have currently. What is your body telling you?
Right.
What body systems are out of balance?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So I've had a nervous system issue since pre-birth, right? Because I believe, and this is getting a little bit deep, but I believe that there was a lot of anxious tension in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
When I was created.
Right.
But I chose to come into that vessel, so I'm cool with it. But here's the point. The nervous system itself, I have seizures, epilepsy, PTSD, panic attacks, all the things, right? But because I pay attention to those, now I know that it's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you who I want to hang out with and who I don't. I can tell you where I want to go and where I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you if I smoke the right thing or if I don't. I can tell you if I've had enough magnesium or if I don't.
Right.
I can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like because I look at that as gifts
Mm-hmm.
versus, oh, woe is me. Like,
Right.
my body is against me. Why the hell is it doing this? Instead, I look at it and say, what are you trying to teach me?
Right.
And they're hard lessons, and sometimes I don't want to hear it. But as I get older, I listen now,
Right. Right.
At 19, it was really hard to listen because you wanted to go with your friends. You wanted to go.
Yeah.
Now that I'm 40 plus, I'm like, I'm good, girl. I will lay in bed.
Yeah.
I am fine with that. I will take my
Facts.
magnesium.
Right.
I will rest my body. I will try another cultivar,
Right.
So anyhow, so that's the best way someone can start to going back to your question is listen to your body.
Right. Right.
That's it. That's the first one.
Right. Because, when you don't listen to your body, you end up in the hospital, you end up, I'm speaking from personal experience. I was, when I found out that I had lupus, the hospital that tested me, they knew in 2009 they didn't tell me to the end of 2014. So they kept telling me that everything is good, and if I'm having bruising, it's because I'm fighting, and like they was trying to make up all type of excuses. So I was so used to faking like I was okay that instead of paying attention to my body when it was saying, "Hey, you need to go to the hospital," or "Hey, you need to get yourself, fixed. Like, go get yourself seen." I just was like, "I'm good. Nothing's wrong." And it really messed me up in the long run.
Yeah, we mask those things, because we want to just go on about our day, or go on about our life, or go back to regular scheduled program, right? We so want to do that. But as we go down our spiritual journey and our health and wellness journey, we start to realize what may be more important to us.
Exactly. Now, what was your life like growing up?
In what way? That's a loaded question, my friend.
Well, so if you look back at your childhood and okay, so for instance, when I'm in therapy or around a therapist or someone in that type of form, I kind of want to know what they went through. So what shaped you to be who you are today? What situation or who?
It's a great question. And I will tell you that every single year of growing up shaped me into the adult that I am now. And every experience gave me an insight of how to be compassionate with other people. Right. So I can tell you that.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's probably enough. But I can tell you that.
I definitely appreciate that. Y'all, if you just now tuning in, it is the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 Central Time. Make sure that you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok. Also, couchchronicles.no limits on Instagram, and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is THAREALJANELL. Also, follow Dr. Hernandez on Dr. Pepper Hernandez on all social media. Her information is in the description. Always make sure that you read the description because I don't always get to say everything. So read the description, follow, support. It's all about love, support, good vibes, and positive energy, and that's all we trying to spread.
I love your vibe. It's so good.
Thank you so much. I love yours. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, can you explain cannabis therapy and what are the benefits?
Oh, yeah. I think that once you dive into cannabis therapy, once you truly look at cannabis as a medicine, right? And we all honor cannabis. We all come to it in a different way.
Right.
I came online to it 30 years ago via a friend of a friend of a friend. Right. And, I was a fan since that day. And before that, because my parents used it prior to my birth, so I think it was just in my DNA. But cannabis therapy, when you really look at it and you really dissect it, so I'm going to go kind of geeky on you for just a moment because that's a big question. How I use cannabis therapy is I look at the terpenes, the cannabinoids, the flavonoids, and the esters that make up the cannabis plant. I dial in and I zone in on organic, sun-grown, outdoor, the most rich and vibrant plants I possibly can, and those farmers that are growing it regeneratively. Mm-hmm. And then I dial all my research around that with the Cannabis Holistic Institute. And from there, I look at a person's body system and what it's this ailment, discomfort, disease that it's creating, right? So is PTSD, like I was saying for myself, PTSD, anxiety, blah, 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 all those, that's nervous system issue, right? Lupus, that's immune system, right? So I would dial in exactly the cultivar with cannabis, cannabinoids, terpenes, flavonoids for that particular body system. That's true cannabis therapy, where you're looking at it for more than just, this is awesome perps and it makes me sleep. That's great. That's cool. That's awesome. And that is amazing. And that is your medicine. But therapy, that's a whole deeper vibe. That's a whole deeper level of education and knowing that plant. And so I hope that helps. It's a big question for, for this time frame. But that's what I think. That's what I've been doing with what I call cannabis therapy.
Right. I was curious about that because, some people would say, oh, this is therapy right here. I'm cannabis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm smoking. And they would assume that that's what cannabis therapy is. But I knew it was way more to it than that. So that's why I wanted your explanation. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your Cannabis Holistic Institute?
Yeah. So I realized I was holding my mic up really high. I hope I'm not like eating the mic. I can set it down a little bit.
Right.
Because I don't want to be blowing your ears out or whatever. But I do that because I'm on a lot of podcasts. And
thank you for watching live in India.
Oh, hey, India. So yeah, the Cannabis Holistic Institute is where we created it back in 2012. When I say we, I say me. And it was a vision between the universe, the plant, and myself. Mm-hmm. And we chose 12 students altogether. That was it, just 12 for the whole year. Mm-hmm. And that's about what we choose every year is 12 students. Mm-hmm. We started with physicians, nurses, registered therapists, those kind of things. And we get together and learn from the farmers, the people who've grown the plant, the patients. We don't ask any corporate cannabis company to come in to educate us on nanotechnology, right? That's not where I'm going. That's not what I want to know about. Right. I want to know about the farmers that are true legacy, that their parents' grew weed. Like, I want to hear from them, those people, and their tips about sucking on seeds before they plant them. I mean, little cool shit like that. That's what I want to know about. And so that's what the Cannabis Holistic Institute was created around, was learning how cannabis can be used holistically, right? Mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional components. You'll kind of get that understanding of that's what I'm all about with my practice, with my school, with my life. It's holistic. And so that's what that school is based on. And we give scholarships yearly out to Indigenous peoples, women, and international students. So we always support the whole population, right? And learning and having the availability to be academically trained and be in a network with some of the most amazing experts in this field. And we're not talking about the people that are just up on stage talking somewhere, or the real experts are those ones you never see. Right? You don't see them. They got shit to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're working. Yeah. They're not like, in LA, these events, or they're not at CannaCon. They're not I mean, I'm not going to name drop a bunch, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not doing that. They're actually helping patients on a daily basis and getting out of their private practice or getting out of their office after a decade is incredibly difficult. Most of those people don't even want to talk to anybody. Right. So those are the experts that I look for.
That's dope. Would you say that cannabis therapy helps with phobias?
It can. Yeah, I think a combination of cannabis and talk therapy is beneficial. Hand in hand. Because phobias... So give me an example and I'll just...
Okay, so don't laugh.
No.
I have a phobia of silverware.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't take the sound. I can't take how it looked. Like, just, I can't. I haven't used it since I was 5.
So without going into your issues on a live, I would encourage you as a friend to seek a talk therapist who is open to entheogens. Entheogens meaning all plant medicines, right? Cannabis, mushrooms, everything. A little more open-minded and have them help you really understand what that program is that happened around 5 years old with silverware. Right. Because That is a direct link, my friend. And now you may not need to have the cannabis. You may not need to have the medicinal mushrooms or the ayahuasca or whatever. You may not have to have that to retrain your brain to go around that trauma. Are you following me?
Right.
But you need, why I even mention that is because those type of people are more open minded, and they will suggest something in the plant kingdom versus those who are certified that will suggest something in the pharmaceutical range. You go one way or the other.
Right.
So find a talk therapist. Obviously, I would highly encourage you to look for someone that has credentials like myself.
So I haven't found one in Oklahoma. I've been denied by so many people. I've been told to go out of state.
There's so much online now, though, my friend. You know, without name dropping some places that you can go look, there are lots of physicians and that you can check in online that do over the phone calls and stuff like that. You don't have to physically move your body to another state. But I would at least encourage looking into that age bracket, or even sit with your cannabis and ask your higher self and ask cannabis, like, can I unlock that memory, or is it too painful? Do I need a therapist? Do I need a professional to walk me through that memory? Because it could.
Well, I would probably need the latter, because I don't know why. I don't know I couldn't tell you if somebody said, I'll give you $1 million to tell me. I don't know. Like, and
that's why I said I don't want to go into it on the live with you, because it could be trauma related, right? It could be anything from, actually being abused with silverware to something really impactful happening, like the death of a loved one, and there was silverware clanging in the background, and so your mind associates that with that, right? There's so many things that our brains do. And so it's really about sitting and thinking, what was going on during that memory? Like, what comes up for me? What memory is it?
Right.
And then starting to journal and trace that out, and those kind of things. That there's just so many ways. If you truly want to dig, not all people need to. Not all people have to, right? I'm very much a, like, be in your present moment. Don't give your past or your future any power. But in a case like this, where you have a paranoia that lives with you on a daily basis, and you must hear silverware often. So
no, I don't go to restaurants. I don't have silverware at all in my and if I go to restaurants, I have noise canceling earplugs.
So you're dealing with it on a daily basis, though. It's a big deal. So it might be time to dig into it.
Oh, it's time. Y'all, if you just now tuning in, it is the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits. I do have some questions. It says, do you vet your farmer? Like, make sure that they don't use harsh chemicals on the weed? Do you?
Absolutely.
Oh, and yes, I do use plasticware. I use all plasticware, even plastic plates. Y'all make sure you follow Miss Dr. Pepper on all social media. Her information is, I love saying Dr. Pepper.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
My friend, before I got on the live, I was like, I got an interview with Dr. Pepper. They was like, the soda? I was like, Hernandez.
It's catchy, right? It's catchy, and I really have 2 doctorates. So it's applicable for that purpose as well, but it is catchy. But as far as to answer that question, vetting the farmers, 100%. So I was born and raised in Oklahoma, but the last 12 years I spent in Humboldt County, which is Northern California, which is where some of the best cannabis sun-grown organic in the world is grown. And so that's where I started my practice. That's where I started my health journey of healing myself from a cancer scare and epilepsy using cannabis. And so I 100% vetted all of my farmers, every single one of them, for the school in incredible detail. I've had to Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I will not tell. But yes, I definitely vetted my farmers. Right. I go to the farms. We do farm tours with our school. Okay. So I go to the farms. I see how they're growing. It has to be living soil. It has to be outdoors. Has to be organic. They have to be doing compost tea and regenerative farming. And like, I'm real deal.
Right.
100%. And I make sure that my farmers are too, because what are we going to gain from learning from a farmer who grows indoor salts?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
We're going to, you know what I mean? Like I've grown indoor, greenhouse, and outdoor over the last 15 years. Mm-hmm. So I do have a place to say I'm not only a physician, but I'm also a grower of cannabis. Mm-hmm. And I choose strain specific. And I've done my research. I've done my lab testing on cannabis that grows in each of those ways, and some of the same genetics, the same mother plant, and the difference that they're turning out nutritional wise. Mm-hmm. So that's all stemmed from that question, do you vet the farmers? And that answer is 100% yes. Almost too much.
That's what's up. It says, go on, Lady Doc. I love that answer.
You were so y'all. Sweet. I don't know who that was, but thank you.
That was Vicky King on Facebook.
Thanks, Vicky King.
Yes. And I seen it was a comment that says to delete plastic out of my life. So it's the ones that you get from Walmart. You know, you can get colorful ones. You can get, so it's the hard ones. The ones that's, you know, reusable. Not just the ones from, you know, the ones you throw away. But right. I do need to delete it out of my life. Trust me. I'll probably just start eating with my hands. I mean,
there's bamboo.
Yeah, it is. So
there's different things you can do, but eating with your hands is like awesome too.
Yes, and you know I go to sometimes I do a pickup from Kava, and they don't have any silverware, but they have like the plant based eatingware. So sometimes I just grab a handful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of different there's just a lot of different cultures that eat with their hands, right? Like
actually in Trinidad where I'm from, it's a
that's
delicacy.
What I was gonna say, like that Ethiopians, that teff flour. A lot of Mexicans indigenous is corn, corn tortillas.
Yes,
like there's a lot of people who eat with their hands. So
and you're letting the cook know that their food is delicious.
They do pitas.
I think your phone might have cut out. Y'all, if you're just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. Make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, and Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify and Pandora, and my main YouTube and Instagram, which is THA Real JANELL. Y'all also make sure that you follow Dr. Pepper Hernandez on all social media. Her information is in the description. Her reception, she may be actually adding herself back because it looks like the reception may have went out. So until she comes back, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that tomorrow in Midwest City, Oklahoma, let's talk about lupus. The doors will open at 7 p.m. It's going to be at Official Sports Bar and Grill. It costs nothing it's donation for everything. It's donation to get in. It's donation to perform. It's donation to whatever you want to do. If you want to sell something, if you want to be a vendor, just donate to the cause. Lupus is more common in people of color, and it doesn't get talked about that often. I have a lot of prizes, and some good ones too. Okay. Givenchy. Y'all see it? So, y'all make sure that y'all come out and support and have a good time. It's going to be some bomb-ass performers. I even have a dope-ass performer coming all the way from Dallas, Texas. So, I'm super excited to introduce y'all to him. And I'm super excited for y'all to hear his music. Because, he hard. He hard as fuck. So, let me move this camera really quick until Dr. Pepper gets back. There we go. Yes. Hey, I see you dropping them couches If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you share the live. It is the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. If you're watching on Instagram, make sure that you share the live. You can do that too. You can share the live. Y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles and there ain't no fucking limits, man. I fucking love doing this. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 Central Time. This is, this is what I love to do. I love to interview people. I love to get to know people. I love to get to know y'all. I love to talk to y'all. There's times where I don't even have people on the couch. I just be talking. So if you tune in, if you're one of my people that always tune in, thank you. I love y'all. Make sure y'all drop them couches. Let me see if I can send Dr. Pepper another invite. Her phone may have died or something. Let me see if she came back. All right. Oh, also, you guys, next week starts Prison Talk. Who's ready for Prison Talk? Who's ready? If you have been locked up, if you're a male, female, even if we haven't been locked up together, if you've been locked up and you want to talk about your time on the yard and what you're doing now, DM me your picture if you want a flyer. If you're still on the yard and you want to get on and talk about your time on the yard, you can do that. If you want a flyer, I can make you a flyer. If you don't want a flyer, that's absolutely fine. You can tap in on the live next week. It starts Tuesday and it's going to be through the whole week. So Monday, you're going to have me. And then Tuesday is going to start Prison Talk all the way until Friday. So even if I don't get anybody this month that want to come talk about their time on the yard, I got a lot of stories. I did 9 years. I got a lot to say. So I'm going to go ahead and play a song because I want y'all to know that anything I say, I can't make none of this shit up. I don't care how outrageous it seems. How crazy you like. You know what? No. I need you to know. Oh, there she is. There we go. We'll play the song at the end, but y'all already know we can't make none of this shit up. Okay. So, hey, welcome back.
Hi. We're having some really intense storms here.
Yes.
So the internet is a little bit shady.
Right. I'm so sorry. I was going through that earlier. I was like, ugh, come on now.
So sorry. Thanks for sticking it out, waiting for me to come back.
Anytime. So my next question, thank you. My next question is, you teach about chakras. Can you tell for the people that don't know about chakras, can you tell them what are the benefits?
Yeah, well, so chakras are the energy systems within the body. So we have multiple chakras, but the base 8 are the ones that we focus on, which is the root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And they're all energy centers, right? So here's third eye, here's crown, here's throat, and they go down the body if I was standing up. So when you start opening those centers or making movement in there, everything is energetic and then it's manifested physically. So if we can take care of our energetic system, then our physical bodies benefit. Now, as we're speaking specifically on lupus tonight, it's an autoimmune issue. It would be related to the crown chakra, which is the connection to higher source, our highest self. So I would encourage those people with lupus, and there are 4 different types of lupus, by the way, but if with any of those, to check into their immune system, and also look into possibly those higher chakras. Just see if they vibrate with you. They may not, right? You may read that and be like, oh, that's not my thing. Or that may just be the key that unlocks a whole bunch of new things that you can work on. I'm one of those people, though. I love new things to work on. I love, looking at things and how can I heal myself better so that way I can educate others. Some people aren't like that. But if you are kind of like me, then I do encourage you to look into chakra Healing.
Mm-hmm.
CHARKA, also known as chakra healing. Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you smoke yourself, right?
I use cannabis in every way you could possibly use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer indica or sativa?
I go way past and beyond that. So if you were to ask, I probably would say I'm more indica dominant.
Okay.
When I look at cultivars or strains, because of my nervous system. So I want to relax my nervous system. So when I look at that, I want to look at cultivars, which is another word for strains. I want to look at that has high CBD, CBG, CBN, and the terpenes in that are going to be more like linalool and myrcene. Those are going to be more my jam, right? So it's much more in sativa or indica, because I'm kind of nerdy like that. I like to really, really geek out on it and see. But, I've been doing this for a long time now, over a decade and a half of really doing research on hella good weed. So, it's a lot more than that. And when you ask, do I smoke? Yes, my sweet friend. I smoke. I use tincture. Edibles, topicals. I make tea out of it. So I do herbal teas. I do compresses, vaginal suppositories. You name it, girl. It's all over me, all around me.
So I need to know about the vaginal one. That sounds interesting.
You can make it. Yep, make it yourself. You can make it yourself.
Wow.
Always find a farmer. If you need somebody in your area, let me know. But always find a farmer doing sun-grown, organic cannabis, preferably outdoors, and preferably ones that are regenerative farming methods where they're companion planting and they're growing tomatoes and dandelions right next to their weed, right? Because it's all synergistic, it's all holistic. Get some of that. Make your own vaginal suppositories if you want. All you got to do is extract it using coconut oil. That's it. That's all I do. That's my secret with pretty much anything is coconut oil, really, really good, resiny, dank weed. I put it in a crock pot. If you look here on Instagram, I've got reels upon reels upon reels of education and how I make different things. So if any of your listeners or watchers or viewers or audience wants to check that out, it's all free. And you just once you've extracted that coconut oil and that flour, you can put stems in there, you can put leaves, whatever you want. But once you do the plant material and coconut oil, then you just put it in an ice cube tray.
Right.
Freeze that, cut it in half, right up there.
Wow.
Yeah, girl, it's so easy.
Wow.
It's so healthy. Now,
yes.
I will tell you this. If you're starting for the first time, microdose. Go slow. Maybe cut those ice cubes in a little bits until you know what you're working with, right? And consistency is key for longevity. So you maybe want to cut that in quarters, and then, you may not want it to be like right out of the freezer. You may set it on your counter for a moment. Use all the logical things to do. Let it cool just a tad. Stick a little portion up there. Make sure you like that flour before you make a whole batch of coconut oil that you're going to stick up your hoo-ha, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so question.
Yeah, girl.
So what is the coochie doing while it's sitting there? Like, what is it doing? Am I laying down? Am I dripping down?
That's an excellent question. And the honest truth is you do want to compress. You want to lay back. You want to keep your knees up. You want to make sure it's lubricated depending on how much of that, an ice cube tray, right? One little bit is about an ounce. So if you're putting a quarter of that, that's just a small amount, but you can get it up there pretty far, right? And then just maybe you're lubricating the whole thing. Maybe you're using it as in an intimate relationship, pleasure-wise, and you're using, and not to go too into this sexually, but we're all adults here.
Right. This is the Couch Chronicles. It ain't no fucking limit.
Probe as a wand to get that in all these places, right? So that is a possibility. Coconut oil is antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial.
So which one is the best coconut oil?
Use that as a lubricant. Always use that as a lubricant. Then add some cannabis to that. Now we're having lots of fun.
Right. Wait a minute. So, okay, so what coconut oil is the best? Is it Dr. Bronner or something?
My favorite, to tell you the truth, is a coconut oil that's called Alive. And you just go to any health food store and you look for one that's alive, basically. It's live enzymes, okay? It has not been refined or pressed or any of that kind of stuff. Now, if all you can get is like the dollar store coconut oil, do it, whatever, it don't matter. But if you can afford the $15 jar of coconut oil, that's the one you want. The reason why is because it had live enzymes. Live enzymes. If you're using the coconut oil in the way that you and I had first started this discussion, which is probably antimicrobial, antibacterial for BV or irritation in the yoni, then you're going to want a coconut oil that's alive. You don't want a rancid old coconut oil stuck up there, right? And then to further that question, you do, unless you're doing it with intimate play, like sexual in nature, if you're just doing it on your own, you might want to do it right before you go to bed. And make sure that you have, some briefs on or boxers on or panties on, whatever, that you don't mind just, getting oil on. But yeah, that clears any kind of irritation in your yoni on and around.
Wow. So what do you think about Dr. Bronner coconut oil?
I don't know much about that, so I can't say one way or the other. You'd have to do some research. I'd want to look at the container to give you a really clear-cut answer, but I haven't looked into it enough, no.
Okay. I thought you might have. Now, what inspired your patient journal?
Oh, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Well, the patient journal was a necessity for our school. So the Cannabis Holistic Institute, to be a consultant, there are 2 requirements. One is a portfolio, which is all the classes required. And they have thesis or homework assignments or whatnot for each class. That's put together in what we call a portfolio, a binder. We also have what's called a practicum. Because remember, I was telling you earlier in the hour that it was created by physicians for physicians. We were all medical or at least holistic health practitioners, right? And so that practicum is a 6-month hands in hand with the consultant to be and a client, a cannabis medical patient, but a client. So we created a cannabis journal for the school, for those students to use in their practicum. And it was pretty detailed. What are the cannabinoids? What are the terpenes that are in this particular strain? What farm grew that? What dispensary? What was the feeling? What did you feel before? What did you feel after? Do you like this? Do you want more? How did you use it? Where did you put it? Right? Like, for scientific research for the school. Right. And I've had so many people over the last decade beg me to send them a copy of that, or just, allow me to share my Google Classrooms content with them, or my own patients. And so I would send, my own cannabis patients. So I would send them a page of it. Say, here, copy this 100 times. Here you go, whatever. Well, that started to cut down a lot of trees. So what we did was we decided to offer it just on 4/20 this month. We decided to offer it to the general public. And the gratitude from people has just been amazing. It's like, thank you for making this available for like $14.
Right. Actually, it's $14.44.
It's $4.44, girl.
Yes, I was like, that's dope.
Well,
did you get to pick that?
$14.20.
Did you get to pick your price?
Everything else is 420. Our school number, my phone number, everything's 420. So 444, you know.
Right.
I'm very big into spirituality and numerology.
Yes, yes. You have a question. It says, does she involve herself in some helpful synthetics like methylene blue or ozone therapy? You said no.
No, I don't. But that doesn't mean, that's just me personally. But that doesn't mean that with healthy discussions that I wouldn't support it for the right person.
Right. Okay. Can you tell us what are the pros and cons of indoor and outdoor? Can indoor be organically grown?
I'm not the best one to ask on that because I am so pro sun grown that I'm a little bit anti indoor.
Oh, okay.
So I might be biased and I might be swayed. Because I've grown indoor, outdoor, and greenhouse, I think greenhouse is probably your best bet to the safe middle.
Right.
Because it's protected. You're still getting the rays from the sun. It's still getting energized. It's a living plant. That's the whole point.
Right.
It's a living thing.
Right.
And I use it in a way where I juice it. So I'm not always using THC. I'm using THCA or, CBDA. I'm juicing that plant, right? Or I'm eating it. So I want, just like a fruit or a vegetable, I want it to be highly nutritious for me. I want it to be organic. I want, that vitamin D I want that to be there. So I am not the best one to say pro indoor. However, if you are in an illegal state or you're in a state where you can't grow outdoor, I'm down to support you. Right? Do whatever you have to do. I have been blessed. I'm lucky enough to have, learned the ropes or cut my teeth, as you would say, in the hills of Humboldt County. Right? With the best genetics and outdoor, and everybody's kind of snobby, and we all love organics. That I've been lucky. So I'm not saying like that's the only way, but at the same time, I'm saying that's the only way. Right. But there are some states like Illinois, Iowa, where it is illegal to grow outside. So I can't shame people for growing a little indoor in their closet, right? That's cool. Do what you do. But the most important thing I can tell you, this isn't really answering that question, but I'm trying.
You're good.
The one thing I can tell you is find the genetics that work best for you. Right. If you are going to grow outdoors, find a genetics that grow outdoors and is also best for your body system. Right. If you have to grow indoor, if you have to, choose living soil. If possible, create your own soil. Don't buy potting soil. Okay. Create your own living soil. There's enough free information on YouTube on how to do that. And there's stuff all around. Right. Now, if you're in the inner cities, you're in a flat, high rise, whatever, and you can't get to soil. You can't see soil because there are soil deserts, right? Like there are places where we don't see nature. That's a whole nother situation that we're talking about. So get as close to living soil, natural light as you possibly can. Right. And for God's sakes, don't use chemicals on your plants. Right. Not in the fertilization, not in the growing process, and not in spraying for bugs or pesticides. There are natural ways to do it. And my major piece with that is because it concentrates in our body. And if you're truly wanting to use it for medicine, it can be much more harmful to use indoor plants that were grown in salts, sprayed with chemicals. You could be damaging your nervous system by even smoking something like that. So what you'd want to do is just do the best you possibly can in your area. Or if you're growing, look for the safest ways to grow. Right. So the dispensary I go to, they sell both indoor and outdoor grown.
it just, their outdoor hasn't been that great. But I've never.
You'll find farmers that are great, right? Are you
Right.
in Oklahoma?
Yeah, Oklahoma City.
Oh, girl. Okay, so Red Dirt Raised.
Mm-hmm.
His flowers are beautiful.
Mm.
Jackalope Farms.
Mm-hmm.
Their flowers are beautiful.
Mm.
There's Lost Highway.
Are they on your page? Because I was looking at your page and
girl, go down. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was
highlight
looking.
all of the best farmers in Oklahoma, and you can see that it is crystally, it's shiny.
Yes, I seen them. I was like, ooh, what is that? Matter of fact, I think it was the OG. What was it? OG something? I think it was OG something.
OG Kush. That's the last one I did.
Yeah. So what is the strongest strain that you have?
What's the strongest strain I have, like right this minute?
On your page?
Oh, on the page? Hell, I don't know. They're all strong in different ways, right? Because we have THC strong, we have terpene strong,
right?
We have concentrate strong, all that stuff. But I'd say the one that would probably knock you out if you're really one of those kind of people, I go down and find my bubble hash videos that were apple tarts. That was really, really high in THC, and that was some fun stuff to work with. But yeah, there's a bunch on my page, so people can look and check it out. But I was gonna say, what do you know? I thought you meant right in this moment.
Yeah,
like,
you got some.
Go get my jar.
Yes.
Okay. Like.
Well, wait. I want to see. I'm sure it's crystally.
Is the feed clear enough to show you some flour?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yes. Let me turn the YouTube around so YouTube can see it back. Oh, yes. Let me get a close-up on this one. If y'all watching on Facebook, make sure you share the live. If you watching on Instagram, make sure you share the live. It's the Couch Chronicles, and it ain't no fucking limits.
Let's see. This is just my little secret stash that I keep in here. And I don't even know if the light's good enough to see anything, but.
That look purple.
So I have a little bit of different things. But again, this is all sun-grown.
That looks really good.
Organic. And it's like, I mean, it's just amazing. It smells so good.
Yes,
and yeah, does. I have some purples in there. I have some lavenders. I have some greens. I have a whole bunch of really cool stuff. I have some runts that were pretty intense lately. Some white runts. But the lemon lava cake.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It is so good. Ooh. And this is just, the lighting here is just not doing it justice. However, if you go over to the videos, I have it outside in the sun, right? It's grown in the sun. It's supposed to be shown in the sun.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes, that looks beautiful.
So it's all sun grown.
I'm gonna have to travel out that way to get that flower. Good sun grown.
Girl, because you're in Oklahoma, you can call up some of these people and just say, Pepper told me to call you.
Oh yes, perfect. I can't wait.
What do you have? What do you have for me?
Right. I need to try me some good sun grown. I was trying to grow me some outside in Atlanta. All the cats kept digging my plant out. I was like, oh man.
Shoots. Really?
Yes.
Well, they like it too.
Yes, they did.
They liked it too.
They liked it a little too much. Y'all make sure you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora. Yes. Oh, that looks delicious. Oh, that looks orange too.
Oh yeah, super, super red. There's one that's super red hair. It went a little long, but it's super red hair.
Oh. Yeah, that looks amazing.
So that's the story. That's what I have sitting right here. And then I always have my tincture and my topical salve. And then I wake up in the mornings and put a little cannabis coconut oil in my coffee. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you look like you got some gas.
Well, I like I said, you asked me if I was indica or sativa. I would say indica dom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking for cultivars that are super mellow, super kind. They work better with my nervous system. They have CBD, CBG, CBN. The lab tests are there.
Right.
Girl, I won't smoke nothing without a lab test, because you just never know. People could say it's this one genetic, and
Mm-hmm.
for someone like myself who has
Right.
seizures,
Mm-hmm.
I can't just smoke anything.
Right. That's
And
true.
so, when I grow the strains I grow, or I get from like really reliable farms, the flour I'm going to make my salves with, I covet that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a gold.
Right. Right.
Because I know my body works well with it.
Right. Now, what are your thoughts on magic mushrooms?
Well, I have a professional opinion on magic mushrooms, and I have a personal opinion on psychedelics in the mushroom world and kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And they join at this one place, that microdosing is the key.
Right.
They can be helpful. They can be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone who's really done psychedelics, and you know who you are, you've had those God experiences,
right.
with psychedelics. And so that piece, I would say, is one, microdose, and two, be really conscious about how you're using it and
Mm-hmm.
why you're using it.
Right.
Right. Those God doses are real.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a while to come back from it.
Yes.
And integrate it is what I should say. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
you're not going back to nothing after one of those. But you integrate
right.
it, into your life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question,
yes.
but from a personal perspective, I may never do it again because I've just done too many.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to integrate with good therapy and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But from a professional place, I think it's a great experience, and I love helping people, offer that help for them afterwards.
Right.
Especially newbies,
mm-hmm.
or people who have had, 5 grams or more, or an accidental over,
Right.
without going too much into it.
Yeah, I actually stopped taking all of my medication for lupus, and I'll just microdose.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And my cannabis and mushrooms are very similar. And even the mushrooms that you choose, there are so many different mushrooms that do different things, right? So I'll never do penis envy.
Well, so a lot of people say they have penis envy, but a lot of the ones that I see out here, it's not the real deal. But I love Amazonian, and I love Malabar. I love hillbillies.
Okay, I've never had that.
Really?
I mean, not that I know of. I've had a lot of sugar, but
I like icebergs. I like all of them. Penis envy is okay, but it's overrated.
Well, I just won't ever do them. I mean, those times that when I was younger and maybe we didn't know what they were. We weren't consciously using cannabis or mushrooms or anything,
mm-hmm.
Back hundreds and thousands of years ago when I was a teenager. But, you didn't know what they were, and you were eating my personal story is that I ate a bowl of what I thought were grape nuts. Was not grape nuts. And so that's from my personal experience. Now from then on out, I've told people, microdose, know what you're doing.
Right.
And if you've really been into psychedelics, then you're really into you know what I mean? Like, you've done it.
Right.
So just be careful.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And I have a whole podcast over this, by
I
the
was
way.
just about to ask you about your podcast.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yes. Can you tell us about your podcast?
Yeah. So I have 2. One is called Quantum Alignment, which is kind of what we talked a little bit in the beginning of the show here. But I interview healers from all over the world, and I do a very inspired series on entheogens specifically. So people who, usher through ayahuasca or bring in combo or do medicinal mushrooms, like all of these plant helpers or plant allies. So I interview people who do these things, and it is incredible, the stories, because I dig deep, and I love the stories. So that's the first podcast I have, and it's called Quantum Alignment Podcast. It's on radio stations out in Northern California, and then also anywhere you find podcasts. And then the other one is called Joint Discussions, and I do something kind of like you and I were doing.
Hey.
Yeah, we just talk about weed. I call my farmer friends and I talk about weed.
That's dope. That's dope. Oh, yeah. And another thing I love about the podcast is we talk about any and everything. Nothing is off limits. I don't censor anybody. Just be your true self.
I love that. I love that. You are just so amazing at what you do too.
Thank you.
You're so comfortable. You're such a beautiful woman, and it's easy to feel comfortable with you. Like, we're the only two people in the world, Right. So like you just have that about you. So thank you for that.
Oh, you know what? Thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me, for real. Now, I do have a few more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Sure. Y'all, if you're just now tuning in, it is the Couch Chronicles, and there ain't no fucking limits. Make sure that you follow Dr. Pepper Hernandez on all social media. Her information is in the description. Always make sure that you read the description, because I don't always get to say everything. Follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok, and Couch Chronicles.No Limits on Instagram, my main YouTube and Instagram, which is THARealJANELL. And you can visit my .com, THARealJANELL.com, and the couch is up there as well. Also, if you want to tip the couch, you can Cash App or PayPal, THARealJANELL. Oh, or Chime. I know some of y'all got Chime too. Now, one of my questions that I have is, how many years did you go to school for this?
Oh, girl. My sweet friend. I haven't stopped going to school.
Oh, I figured that.
Yeah, so I started when I was 5, I think. Yeah.
Really?
No, for real. Oof. So it started with preschool. Right after preschool, I went, did what some people do, high school, whatever. I went on to college. I got my first degree in teaching education, which makes a lot of sense.
Right.
And science and mathematics were my degrees. Rolled it right into graduate school.
Right.
And then right into medical school for the first doctorate, first ND for about 5 years, and then the PhD another 4 years.
Wow.
And it's just a continuous cycle of education. So I don't know how long. It's taken me a long time. This isn't my first life go around, though. You know what I mean? All of us have done this plenty of times.
Right.
I hope this will last.
My goodness. That is a lot of school.
It is. Yeah, it is a lot of school. But you know what? It wasn't an end goal, right? Like, I didn't say, oh, I'm choosing to be an ND because it's only 4 or 5 years, and at that point I'm going to stop. I just liked going to school. I liked learning, and then they were like, oh, here's a doctorate. I was like, okay, cool. It was I just do stuff because I enjoy doing it. So I don't even know how many years.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what are some important lifestyle changes that someone can improve in their health?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty open. That's pretty broad. But just a base would be, make sure that you're doing what you would do to your cannabis plant. Give it light. Give it fresh air. Give it clean, unadulterated water.
Right.
No chemicals in any way. Give it the best food possible. Right. So do the same thing for your body. Go on a walk. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. get good food in your body as clean and as good as you can afford, and that's available in your community. Made with love would be even better. Right? Make it yourself. Pray over it. Whatever you do with your life, do it. Clean water. Meditate. If you don't have time to meditate or you don't know how to meditate, at least try to catch yourself and think positive thoughts. Go to sleep with positive affirmations playing on a loop at night. That's the least you can do, but the most valuable, right? So food, exercise, and mental health.
Right, that's real.
And smoke and eat and use weed in every way you can if you have it.
Right. Hey. Now, are there any conditions or diseases that you feel that you're very good at helping with or managing?
Well, I think we're humans. So anything that comes with being a human, I can kind of give a broad overview of like looking at certain things, right? As a naturopath, you're trained to do that.
Right.
But I would say my specialty and expertise past my ND and past my PhD in psychology would be cannabis related. So I'm like zoning in every day, right? I get dialed in deeper. And so most people on the planet come to me for nervous system, seizures, epilepsy, and cancer. So those are like the specialties that most people come to me for. But I love helping people find the right cultivar and application method and dosage method for anything they're going through.
That's
anything. Like, I love it. It makes me fired up. Because then I want to find a farmer who's growing it.
Right.
That's growing it the best, and I want to find a dispensary that allows them to have it. Like that's just like, I don't know. I just love that part of it. So
that's dope.
I have my expertise, but then I enjoy helping people find the right medicine for them.
That's dope. That's a gift.
I'm blessed to be able to do it freely, right? I have a private practice for a reason.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, my last question is, what makes you stand out from other holistic doctors?
I think everybody, especially naturopaths or holistic practitioners, they all have their specialties and their own gifts. And I wouldn't say I necessarily stand out because everybody's so unique and they're all so special in their own. I think if anything made me stand out in any ways is the fact that I have been down so many roads. So not only is it a naturopath, but it's also transpersonal psychology, and then it's also chakra healing, and it's also I'm a Kundalini yoga instructor, and then it's also I love weed. So like that's kind of weird. That's a lot of things. So I think that would be the only thing that would make me a different type of unique.
Right.
You know what I mean? But or stand out in a different way. And then on the fact that I'm personable. I think a lot of people may not have the best bedside manner.
Right.
And I hope that I approach it personable and with ease and with grace and with kindness.
Right.
So yeah.
Beautiful answer. I definitely appreciate you, Dr. Pepper Hernandez, for being on the couch. Seriously. That meant the world.
Girl, I love you. Thank you.
Yes, I love you
You're
too.
awesome.
Thank you. Oh, man. You guys always listen. Always make sure that you read the description because I don't always get to say everything. Make sure that you follow Dr. Pepper Hernandez on all social media, on everything. And if you go to her Instagram, she has a link in her bio. Make sure that you click the link in her bio. Yes. That's your link tree. Isn't it called Linktree?
It's Linktree, and people can find the podcast there. They can find my website if they want to schedule a personal one-on-one appointment. I still have time to do that in my life right now, even though I'm writing for like
and you can do it over the phone?
Publications. I do over the phone.
Okay.
I do Zoom. I do over the phone. I also have a private practice in Humboldt County, so I have a brick and mortar where people can come in and see me.
Okay.
That's not year round because those times are limited because I do travel a lot.
Right.
But yeah, so on that link tree, they can go and schedule an appointment. They can get a copy of the journal if they want to support me and the school, Or if you have an audience member who's listening or watching and they want to be a part of the school, there's applications for the school over there too.
Wow,
So
y'all hear that?
all things Pepper Hernandez is over there.
Okay, yeah, y'all hear that. Listen, make sure that you hit the link in her bio if you want to get connected. And definitely make sure that you follow her on all social media. It is the Couch Chronicles and it ain't no fucking limits. I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, THA Couch on Facebook and TikTok. Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, and my main YouTube and Instagram and .com, which is tharealjanell.com. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for being on the couch.
Thank you, my friend, and thank you for doing what you do and bringing content to all of these people. You are fabulous.
Thank you so much. You have a beautiful night. Y'all have a good night.
Bye, everyone.